Welcome all. We are going to study about the subject object oriented programming. So the main objective of object oriented programming subject is to understand object oriented programming concepts and basic characteristics of Java, and also to know the principles of packages, inheritance and interfaces. So in order to develop a Java application with threads and generic classes, we must know what is object oriented programming, and also to design and build simple graphical user interfaces, we must know what is object oriented programming. So let us get into the unit 1. So the subject syllabus will be CS 8392 object oriented programming. Unit 1. Unit 1 will be Introduction to OOP and Java Fundamentals. OOP is nothing but the short form of Object Oriented Programming. So, the first unit topic will be given. Object Oriented Programming, Abstraction, Objects and Classes, Encapsulation, Inheritance, Polymorphism, OOP in Java, Characteristics of Java, Java Environment, Java Source File, Structure Compilation, Fundamental programming structures in Java, defining classes in Java, constructors, methods, access specifiers, static members, comments, data types, variables, operators, control flow, arrays, packages, and also Java documents. These are the topics we are going to study in the unit 1. Let us discuss the first topic, object oriented programming. So object oriented programming is nothing but it is a software design methodology. It is a software programming model that is constructed based on objects. The main aim of object oriented programming is to implement real world entities in programming. Next one, object oriented programming languages, that is OOP languages. It follows the OOPS principle. Whenever a programming language that follows the OOPS principle is known as object oriented programming languages. The other languages that follows the OOPS principle other than Java will be Simula, C++, Python, etc. Next, let us discuss the concept of OOPS. Here are some concepts of OOPS. These are object, class, inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction and encapsulation. We are briefly discuss these concepts of OOPS in the following slide. First one will be object. Object means it is a real world entity. For example, pen, chair, table, etc. Any entity that has state and behavior is known as an object. Object can also be defined as an instance of a class. An object contains an address and takes up some memory space in space. Objects can communicate without knowing knowledge of each other's data or code. That is, we must know only the necessary thing is the type of message accepted and what is the type of response written by the object. We must know these two things to communicate the objects. So, next one, three characteristics of object. There are three characteristics of object. The three characteristics are state, behavior and identity. The state, behavior and identity. State means state represents the data of an object. That is, data means value. The value of an object is called as state. Behavior means it represents the behavior of the object. The behavior of the object such as the functionality of the object is known as behavior. Next one, identity. Identity means every object will have a unique ID. The value of ID is not visible to the external user. It will be only internally identify each object uniquely. These three are the characteristics of an object. Next one, classes. The collection of object is called as class. It is a logical entity. A class can also be defined as a blueprint form which you can create an individual object. It also consists of a data members and methods. The primary purpose of a class is to hold data or information. The memory functions determines the behavior of a class. That is, it provides a definition for supporting various operators on data held in the form of an object, and also class does not store any space. Next one, inheritance. Inheritance can be defined as the procedure of acquiring all the properties and behavior of one class to another. That is, it will acquiring the properties and behavior of a child class from the parent class. When one object acquires all the properties and behavior of another object, it is known as inheritance. Next, it provides a code reusability and establish relationship between different classes. So child class, a class which inherits the property is called as child class. It also known as subclass or derived class. Wherever a class properties are inherited is known as parent class. That means a class whose properties are inherited is known as parent class. It is also known as superclass or subclass. There are some types of inheritance in Java. These three types are single inheritance, multi-level inheritance, hierarchical inheritance. These are the types of inheritance in Java. Next one, polymorphism. When one task is performed by different ways is known as polymorphism. For example, to convince a customer differently. These are the example for polymorphism. There are two ways of classification in polymorphism. First one will be method overloading. Second one will be the method overriding. Method overriding means compile time polymorphism. That is, it allows a class to have two or more methods having the same name, but the arguments passed to the methods are different. This is compile time polymorphism. It is a process in which a call to an overload method is resolved at compile time rather than at runtime. Is called as compile time polymorphism. Next, method overriding. Method overriding means if subclass, that is a child class, has the same method as declared in the parent class, then it is known as overriding in Java. Next one, abstraction. Abstraction is a process of hiding the implementation details and showing only functionality of the user. For example, a phone call. A phone call means it will hide the implementation details. We are only know the functionality of the user. That is, we don't know the internal processing, whatever happening in the during a phone call. We only know what are the functionality given by the user. This is known as abstraction. Next one, encapsulation. Encapsulation in Java is a process of wrapping code and data together into a single unit. For example, a capsule. A capsule will consist of several medicine. That is, it consists of several medicine that will be wrapped and together in a single capsule. That is called as encapsulation. This is the example of encapsulation. Next, we are going to discuss about what are the difference between procedure oriented programming and object oriented programming. The procedure oriented programming is divided into small parts called function, wherever object oriented programming is divided into small parts called object. Procedure oriented programming is a top down approach, wherever the object oriented programming is a bottom up approach. Procedure oriented programming does not have any access specifier, rather than object oriented programming has access specifiers. To add new data and function is not easy in procedure oriented programming, wherever object oriented programming it is easy to add new data and function. Comparing to procedure oriented programming, object oriented programming is more security, and it is not possible to overloading in procedure oriented programming, wherever object oriented programming overloading is possible in the form of function overloading and operator overloading. These are the difference between procedure oriented programming and the object oriented programming. So that's all. Thank you.